Good morning. Good morning, Rev here this morning. It is January the 5th on Wednesday of 2022. I pray you're safe and well and blessed this morning, having a great year. So far, anyway. We are getting ready to celebrate Epiphany. Tomorrow is the actual day. And so this morning I'm going to begin to talk about Epiphany, probably will for the rest of the week. We'll see how that goes. But I want to begin by reading this scripture to you from Matthew chapter 2. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came from the Jordan and asked, "Where is the one who has been born the King of the Jews? We saw his star in the east and have come to worship him." When Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. When he had called together all the people's chief priests and the teachers of the law, he asked them where the Christ was to be born. "In Bethlehem in Judea," they replied, "for this is what the prophet has written. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, for out of you will come a ruler who will be shepherd of my people Israel." Then Herod called the Magi secretly and found out from them the exact time the star had appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and make a careful search for the child, and as soon as you find him, report to me so that I too may go and worship him." After they had heard the king, they went on their way, and the star they had seen in the east went ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts of gold, of incense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they returned to their country by another route. May God add his blessing to the reading and hearing of his word this morning. We celebrate them every year. The three kings, the wise men. We see them in every nativity scene. Three guys that came from the east. They came from afar. We call them the kings, and as I said, we see them every year. And you see a Christmas pageant, you see the kings. There's a story told about a man that took his nephew to a Christmas pageant. He was 5 years old. They were sitting up in the balcony, and the boy wasn't paying much attention. And as the wise men, or the three kings, began to march down the aisle toward the manger, this man said to his nephew, "Curtis, look, you're missing it." And here comes the king. And Curtis jumped up, and he looked over the balcony. He said, "That's Elvis?" Okay, sorry. Don't turn me off because of it. The three kings, or the wise men, they didn't visit Jesus in the manger. They visited him in a house. In fact, it was, and I really don't want to spend. I've spent too much time on them already that I wanted to. I want to spend my time on the star. Excuse me. Stars have existed since the fourth day. In Genesis 1:16, we're told that God created the sun, the moon, and the stars. And I like to look at stars. That's especially on a nice, cool, crisp night. It's so clear. You can see so many stars, especially if you get out in the country. But this star that we're talking about here this morning, what was it? And there are many theories. Michael Molnar, who's the former manager of the physics instructional lab at Rutgers University there in New Jersey, he's also an author, said that wasn't a star at all. His conclusion was that the Christmas star was no star at all. It was the disappearance of Jupiter behind the moon. Astronomer Mark Kidger disagrees. Excuse me. He says that the star was a conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn and in Pisces, that is, seen by the Magi 3 times during a period of 6 months. Well, and there's more. There's more theories out there as to what the star was. Fact of the matter is, nobody really knows. You know what? I really don't think it matters. I mean, why does it have to be explainable? Why do we try so hard to limit God? You know what I think? I think it doesn't matter. I mean, that's exactly what I think. It doesn't matter. What I know is that there was a star. Now, Epiphany, it means manifestation or revelation or to be shown. This is the manifestation or the revealing of Christ to the world. Now, these 3 kings, these wise men, they were Gentiles. The star was what we might call a traveler's star. It hung in the sky and it gave direction. It led the Magi from the east to Jesus. Why don't we see it today then? Well, here's what I think. Because you and I, we are the stars of the day. It is our job to direct people to Jesus. Everyone is on a journey. And there are a lot of people that are lost. And I expect that there were times that those wise men or those 3 kings were at some point in their journey were lost. And there are many today that are lost and just kind of groping about in the dark. We are the stars that lead to Christ. In fact, Jesus says, you are the light of the world. That's in Matthew 5:13, and then it goes on down to 16. He says, let your light shine before men. We're the stars of the day. We are to direct people to Jesus. We point people to Jesus. That's who we are, Christians. We're the stars of the day. Not like the star of the show, but the stars that give light and point the way to Jesus. I'm Pastor Mark. Love you guys. Be safe, be well, be blessed. Be strong. Be the light. I see you tomorrow.